Coming up on Fulton Today, if you've moved within the county within the last 2 years, your voting status could be at risk. We'll have details on the new cards elections officials just sent out. And driver and pedestrian safety will soon improve now that key T-Splosh projects are underway. And what's the latest on the 2017 tax assessment process? We'll have a report. That and more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. The voting status of over 45,000 registered voters could be changed to inactive if they do not comply with a simple request by the Registration and Elections Department. FGTV's Brian Robinson has the story.
Shania, for those who have changed addresses within the county in the last 2 years, the Department of Registrations and Elections is asking for address validation.
Now that the 6th Congressional District election has passed, the Department of Registration and Elections turns its attention to the November general election. With the Atlanta mayoral race at stake and one or possibly two commissioner seats up for grabs, as well as other key races, candidates will be asking all registered voters to do their civic duty. But for some Fulton County residents, their vote could be excluded from the final tally for simply changing their address within the county. For the nearly 50,000 registered voters who submitted a national change of address to the post office during the last 2 years, they all received confirmation notices from the Department of Registration and Elections to confirm their new address.
It's necessary to send those notices out so that we can make sure we get back the current address for the voters.
So what happens if those notices are not returned?
Well, we have sent out over 48,000 notices to voters, and it is important for us to receive them within a 30-day time frame. If that doesn't happen, the voter will move from an active status to an inactive status in the voter list. And so that's very important for voters to want to stay in an active status and make sure everything in their voter file is up to date.
According to state guidelines, confirmation notices were sent to voters if first-class mail sent to the voter from Registration and Elections was returned undelivered, the voter has not contacted the Fulton County Registration Office or voted in 3 consecutive years, or the voter's address in the voter registration file does not match the National Change of Address database.
We're operating under the state guidelines, so every odd number of years, this is what happens, that the confirmation notices go out, because it's very important for us to make sure we have the updated information for each voter in reference to their mailing address.
Now, thankfully, the Board of Registration and Elections has made this whole process easy. Each confirmation notice comes with a prepaid envelope. If you have any questions, you can call the Department of Registration and Elections at 404-612-3816. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Well, some of those key T-Splosh projects are now starting. The county's Chief Operating Officer, Todd Long, he is keeping up with all of the projects. Sir, welcome to Fulton Today, and tell us, when will the projects actually get going?
Well, thanks for having me. Very excited to be working on T-Splosh. That is an initiative the county really got going over the last several years. Starting April 1st, Fulton County outside of Atlanta started collecting an extra 0.75 cents on every dollar purchased on goods, and that money is going to transportation, which is exciting because there's much needs all across the county. Each city electronically gets allotment of money from the T-Splosh collections every month, prorated based on population. The first allotment arrived in the budgets for all the different cities at the end of May. The second month, which was May collections, will arrive at the end of June, and June collections arrive at the end of July. That's how it works month to month. Well, those monies are being put to work now through preparing bid packages and other projects like that. In South Fulton, the city of South Fulton in particular, where Fulton County is very much involved in those projects, for instance, we're preparing packages for several resurfacing projects and a sidewalk project along Enon Road. So we're very excited to get those projects out the door.
Well, Todd, during the June recess meeting, it was revealed that not all of the projected funds were collected in April. Why was that the case? And when will all of the funds get collected?
Well, that's usually what happens. The first month of collections of any sales tax is usually lower than expected. And that's to be expected a little bit, because what happens is businesses, for whatever reason, don't implement the tax as part of their sales. Now, they're still responsible for collecting that tax or paying that tax later, but what happens, it takes a month or two to get going. We're told by the Department of Revenue that usually within about 3 months, the collections start settling out toward projections. Now, we're hoping to see better numbers in collections from May and June, so hopefully by early fall, we'll have a really good gauge on where we are.
And can you tell us what the Citizens Oversight Council is and their responsibilities?
Well, the Oversight Citizen Council was really a brainchild of what GDOT did during their sales tax all across the state. They created an Oversight Council, so we created a similar one in Fulton County. So back last summer, when the intergovernmental agreement between all the cities was signed, a T-SPLOS Oversight Council was created more or less as an accountability group. Essentially, each city will put a representative on this council, and they are to make sure that the projects are done that are on the list, that the projects are spent, the money spent in a timely fashion, the projects stay on budget. And one of their main jobs is to produce an annual audit. And that audit will be used by elected leaders and others to show that, in good faith, that the T-SPLOS money being collected is spent exactly where the citizens thought it would be spent, and in a manner that is very efficient and wise.
And finally, Todd, just give us your overall final thoughts about these T-SPLOS projects getting underway.
So T-SPLOS is a great opportunity for the county. If you combine what Fulton County is doing with T-SPLOS and with the city of Atlanta, who has a 0.4% sales tax for T-SPLOS, if you combine the revenue between that for all of Fulton County, what you have is enough money to finally get some of the needed projects done. Georgia DOT is doing great. They're getting some projects done they haven't had a chance to do before, like 285 and 400, and some other significant projects like I-20 and 285 on the west side. But that still doesn't take care of a lot of the local streets, and those local streets need funding as well. So the T-SPLOS allows each city to really take care of its business. So we're excited here as a staff to see these projects come to fruition. It's great to have enough money to finally do the projects. It is a 5-year tax, it does end, and we'll have to obviously do a great job and build public confidence that we can deliver these projects in the most efficient manner possible.
Fulton County's Chief Operating Officer, Todd Long, always great to have you. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thanks for having me today. As we move forward into the next few months, a lot will be learned, and we look forward to delivering a program that everybody will be proud of.
We're looking forward to that. Now, if you would like to keep track of the T-SPLOS project, you too could just log on to the county's website at fultoncountyga.gov. Well, Fulton County continues to flex its economic muscle. At the Board of Commissioners June recess meeting, members of the Select Fulton team presented the commissioners with an update on the department and its future, along with recent economic impact highlights.
Well, 2016 was a banner year for Select Fulton, and we're also, as we enter in the halfway point of 2017, we're continuing to have tremendous success. And it's a great contribution of our many citizens, employees of Fulton County and our business community that continues to make Fulton County a very attractive place to do business.
In 2016, major companies like Sunoco, Honeywell, UPS, Data Center, QTS, and Cisco combined all brought almost 3,000 jobs to the county. The county also became home to the largest concentration of office, industrial, and retail real estate in Georgia.
I think the future is really bright, not only for Fulton County, but for the state of Georgia. And if you think about it, one of the great opportunities that we have is in that South Fulton area, and working with the cities down there to really determine as to how they want to proceed, and working together could be really very beneficial for the future of our county.
Formed in 2016, Select Fulton is the economic development organization for Fulton County. You can log on to selectfulton.com to learn more. A 20-year employee in juvenile court is now its newest judge. After being administered the oath of office and officially sworn in, Christopher Yoakum was appointed to serve as an associate judge.
I want to see us move towards implementing more evidence-based programs, and we have already started to do that. I mean, what we know is that those types of programs work. Rehabilitation is our goal. It's what we're charged with doing. The most successful way to do that is to adhere and to follow the evidence-based program. So we try to refer the children to that, make sure that they get what they need so that we can divert them from the court, move them beyond the court so they can move on and be productive citizens of Fulton County.
Judge Yoakum began as a juvenile probation officer in 1997, and since then, he's served in various roles, working directly with children and families. He was even the recipient of the 2005 Child Advocate Award presented by the Young Lawyers Division of the State Bar of Georgia and the Atlanta Bar Association's 2013 Fulton County Employee of the Year.
There's so many positive things that happen here, so many good things that happen here. I really enjoy being a part of that, and I think the children and families of the Fulton County deserve that. So I feel like I am a public servant. I'm here to try to help them, assist them, try to make good decisions that are in the children's interest and the family's interest, because those two are tied very closely together.
Judge Yoakum joins Chief Judge Bradley Boyd, 2 presiding judges, and 3 other associate judges in hearing cases involving children and their families. Newsflash, it's the latest week for Fulton County Citizens University.
Okay, stand by everybody, we're gonna get ready to roll.
Students were taught about the External Affairs Department, which includes a day in the life of FGTV, Communications and Intergovernmental Affairs. Tasked with handling a newscast and a breaking news story, the students each had their turn assuming the roles of anchors, reporters, camera, and control room operators.
Know your stuff.
They were also assigned with writing press releases and organizing a news conference that featured citizens voicing their displeasure over their tax assessment notices.
I believe that's why we're all here. Bear with me. Tax bills will be issued.
After signing off, the studio lights were turned off and the students reported their experiences to the FGTV team.
I really learned what external communications is and what that means for the county. In the corporate setting, you understand that, but I think in the county setting, private citizens don't really understand the purpose of external communications, but going through the process tonight, I definitely have a clear understanding.
To walk in the shoes of, county government, I played Commissioner John Eves, and just taking in what the public has to offer when things don't go quite so well, and being under pressure to deliver information that is important, that we want to get out there, but yet also being sensitive to the needs of our citizens and press.
The students will wrap up their 12-week-long interactive sessions with a formal graduation. And still to come on Fulton Today, another round of community meetings to get updates on the 2017 tax assessments. It's a part of our district-by-district coverage next. Fulton helped celebrate the brand new opening of a new center at Grady Hospital, and also residents get an update on the 2017 tax assessment process. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves as he kicks off his second round of community town hall meetings to address the 2017 tax assessments. The at-large commissioner is launching an information drive to update residents on the status of the new notices. Chairman Eves has already taped a new public service announcement to apprise taxpayers about what they can expect next.
We are determined to keep the public informed about this process. There's several moving parts, so I think it's important to keep our citizens engaged. So we're going to have various members of our tax assessor's office, perhaps our tax commissioner's office, county manager's office, and county attorney's office, and we just want to inform the public about what's next.
You can get the dates and times for the chairman's July community meetings on the District 7 Twitter page, and you can get information on the 2017 tax assessment notices on the assessor's website. Meanwhile, District 3 Commissioner Lee Morris and Chairman John Eves joined the official grand opening of the Grady Health System's Marcus Stroke and Neuroscience Center's new outpatient center. Located at the hospital's main campus in downtown Atlanta, 55 patients were scheduled to be seen on opening day.
This has become a leader in the country, in the world, for stroke diagnosis and stroke treatment. So we're really very privileged to have it here in Atlanta.
Other notable Atlantans and philanthropists were all on hand for the outpatient center's opening ceremony. We will hear from Mr. Marcus and go inside the center later in the show. Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. hosts a series of community meetings in his district to help residents better understand the 2017 tax assessment process. The District 5 Commissioner has been informing residents on what the Board of Commissioners approved in order to correct the 27 digest.
We had our chief appraiser, Dwight Robinson, come out. He explained the process to people. He explained the valuation process, the assessment process, the appeal process, and we talked about the fact that new assessments will go out in August of this year.
Fulton commissioners took steps at his June meeting to correct the 2017 tax assessments, and the Board of Assessors held a special June meeting to approve that measure. Now again, for all inquiries regarding the 2017 notices, you can contact the assessor's office. And finally, in District 6, Commissioner Emma I. Darnell hosts her quarterly town hall meeting. Residents who gathered at the South Fulton Service Center also got an update on the assessments, in addition to special reports on youth, library, senior, and transition services.
I want to especially thank the elected officials who were here from Fulton County cities, the mayor of Union City, the mayor of Fairburn, and representatives from the city of South Fulton. We know that by working together, we can get it done. It was a great night, and we thank everyone, and everyone will be hearing from us. We heard you. Now it's our time to get busy.
It's always good to attend. There's talk about different things in the area, what is going to happen in the community. They're going to fixing the roads on Butner Road and Stonewall Ted in my community. So that was good, and other areas that they're going to be working on.
Residents who didn't make the Mighty Six Town Hall meeting can send their concerns directly to the commissioner at emma.darnell@fultoncountyga.gov. And still to come, the past meets the present in order to usher in a new era of health. Stay with us. After closing the longtime health center known as Aldridge, some former and current health staffers returned back to the facility for one more official job: to unearth a capsule left some 30 years ago. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn was there.
We want to thank all the former employees and take an opportunity to look back, 30 years ago, right? I know most of you were infants.
It was Old Homecoming Week for the dozens of former employees who joined current staff to discover what was in the time capsule. Dr. William Elsey, director of Fulton's Health Department from 1974 until July 1993, joined in the digging, only to discover that the capsule, though wrapped in plastic, was a wet, soggy mess. Then we discovered the contents of the capsule were soggy as well.
This is wet. I'm afraid I'm going to tear it up more.
What was recognizable, there was a miniature Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket wearing a football helmet, an HIV report from that era, and a 100-year projection of what health challenges the county might or might not be facing far into the future. Dr. Elsey happily recounted the successes of his tenure.
We did lots of good things. It was an exciting time. We had 30 different clinics around, and we did like 1,800 health services per working day. Wow. So I was very happy with all of that.
It was difficult to get everyone settled down for the group picture. They were having such a good time renewing friendships and remembering their roles in Fulton Health.
I worked as a public health nurse, a pediatric nurse practitioner, school nurse, and then we developed an adolescent health program with the Klimas as my boss. First one in the entire country, and we opened up 8 community health centers for teens after school, which was a wonderful program.
No one was disappointed by what was and was not in the time capsule. Dr. Elsie summed it up best.
You guys are the time capsule. We're all the time capsule. This is just some of the literature.
Atlanta Fulton Library employees will work to restore the contents of the time capsule, and they will be put on display with other health department artifacts, hopefully later this year. In the meantime, former employees wish the new Board of Health nothing but the best.
There's awful lots more to be done. That's most important stuff for the county. Mothers and children, and we had lots of family planning and child health clinics. We control syphilis and AIDS here, and we had one of the highest rates of sexually transmitted disease in the country, and we had one of the best health departments in the country. So we know it's going to keep going. We're delighted that Dr. Toomey is here because she is good, and I hope the Board of Health and County Commission and the state will support her more and more.
I'm Lynn Vaughn reporting for FGTV.
Very cool. Thank you so much, Lynn. Well, we want to revisit a story we told you about earlier in the show. We want to take you inside the new outpatient center that is a part of the Grady Health System's Marcus Stroke and Neuroscience Center. As we mentioned, the facility officially opened to much fanfare and with good reason. The state-of-the-art center provides a multidisciplinary approach to care for patients with advanced neurological conditions.
We're going to have the best neurosurgeons, neurologists, experts in their field treating them here. So we're very proud of this place. We're proud of the bottom line, which is people are being helped here. People are being saved here every single day.
The outpatient center is the first phase of an expansion that will allow the Marcus Stroke and Neuroscience Center to serve more patients and expand its research capabilities. Though students are still in summer vacation mode, Fulton's health partners are getting ready for a back-to-school rally. The Fulton County Pitch Program will participate in the first-day Fulton back-to-school pep rallies held on both ends of the county. The free events at Banneker High School and North Springs High School will be Saturday, July 22nd.
We would like to educate parents and students about the importance of promoting physical activity by walking and biking to school.
Pitch and its partners at Atlanta Regional Commission will also share information with school officials and parents on the health and safety benefits of school routes to school programs and other initiatives. The event also will include school registration, a health fair with a variety of vendors and entertainment and activities for children, and yes, even school supplies. You can check out the website for more details. When Fulton Today returns, teens are taught the pros and cons of credit and debit card ownership. Stay with us, everybody. A group of teens are now able to make heads and tails of credit and debit card ownership.
I just bought a house last year. I do not have that much money in my bank account for how much that house cost.
The So You Want a Credit Card Teen Workshop was conducted at the Spruce Oaks Library in Johns Creek. There, the teens were taught how to make wise credit decisions, how to choose the credit card that works best for them, credit scores, and how spending today will affect their future.
If you know you can pay it, and if you know how much you can spend, and you know you can pay it off, then it's good. But if you know that you're going to spend way more than you can pay off if you have it, then it was probably a bad idea.
They also compared the APR rewards program and annual rates of 3 different cards to help them understand the various options that credit cards offer. Now, despite everything that was taught, the instructor made sure they knew the most important aspect of credit cards.
The one thing that I wanted them to remember for the rest of their life is to always pay off their credit card balance, because I think it's the best thing that kids can start learning at a young age.
So You Want a Credit Card is just one of the numerous summer programs at the Spruce Oaks Library. And finally, children use their imaginations through storytelling and also through music. As a part of the library's summer reading program, Build a Better World, children at the Martin Luther King Jr. Library were taught the importance of books and the stories they tell from master storyteller Esther Culver.
From every book you can get a story, and also getting them so involved that they use their imaginations to then retell the story as you saw them do, and it gets them interested in the juices running so that they can get up and feel confident when they get up in front of people.
And while there, members from the Alliance Theater were on hand to perform part of the book children love called The Dancing Grannies by Ashley Bryan. The performance was a clever way of getting children to try new things, including eating their vegetables.
Telling kids you should eat your vegetables is not that fun, right? So we have to come at them with song and dance and lights and theatrics. And so we are trying to just encourage kids to try different things and do teamwork. And you know, if your friends like it, then I like it too. Or if he tries it, I'll try it too.
Now, for a complete list of all of the events that are a part of the 2017 Summer Reading Program, just log on to afpls.org. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out anytime on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.